The pioneering Jewish folklorist S. Ansky, writing in the early 1900s, wrote that the uniqueness of Jewish folklore can be characterized in two ways. First, that the folklore of other nations is based on nature, while Jewish folklore is based on a written literature. Second, Ansky contrasted what he felt was the non-Jewish idealization of physical strength with the Jewish belief that spiritual strength will overcome all obstacles. In the non-Jewish world, he wrote, the heroes are giants, various fighting gods, and the stronger wins out. Quote, in Yiddish folktales, there's no trace of the idealization of physical strength, end quote, wrote Ansky. You have to go to the Bible to find such tales. Ansky expanded this notion and claimed that he means not just physical strength, but the material world. The true world, that Olam HaEmes, for Jews is the world to come. This world, that Olam HaSheker, the false lying world, means little to them. This emphasis on Jewish spirituality was a result of the Jewish diaspora, in which the Jews were in a position of powerlessness with no army and arms, inhabiting territories only by the grace of the leaders of the times. It is reflected in Yiddish humor of Eastern Europe, in which the hero of the joke is often the Jew who has the last word, the punchline, but not necessarily the one who ends up materially or socially better off at the end. For example, a Jewish soldier during the First World War was supposed to fight the enemy, but he ran away from the front. When they caught him and brought him to the colonel scolded him. What happened to your promise to serve the Tsar faithfully? The soldier replied, I am a faithful soldier, and I didn't break my vow. It's just I ran away because I hate the enemy so much I can't stand to look at him. The soldier will probably suffer for his actions, but more importantly, in Jewish humor, he has the last word and gets the laugh. Ansky claimed that violence is not part of Jewish folklore. Only songs against war, against bloodshed are sung. The victories are won not by the sword, but by the word, by the Geist, the spirit. I agree with Ansky on both of his points in general, but he exaggerates. His point that our folklore is based on the written word, not nature, is inaccurate. Jewish folklore is based on both nature and written literature. And his second point contains truth as well. Jewish folklore does often avoid the violent and the heroic, but it does not completely exclude it. There are a number of beliefs and customs practiced that depend on the efficacy of natural products. Biting the tip of the esrog, the pitum, at the end of Sukkot will help a woman get pregnant, or lead to an easy childbirth if she is already pregnant. There are a number of similar beliefs involving the Afikomen matzah at the Passover Seder. The willow branches, the Oshanas, that are thrashed on Hoshana Rabbah also can bring good luck. I had mentioned before the colors red and blue help drive away the evil eye and demons. These traditions show the belief in the power of nature. So Jewish folklore, like folklore in all other cultures, is tied into the natural world, not just the written world. What about Ansky's second point, that Jewish folklore avoids the celebration of physical strength and downplays bloodshed and violence? I would like to bring an example to support this idea. There is an international ballad, Two Sisters. In the classic collection of British and Scottish ballads edited by Francis James Child in the 19th century, it is called Twa Sisters, and versions are found throughout Great Britain and Scandinavia, even Poland, but surprisingly not Germany. It is surprising because many versions were sung in Yiddish all over Eastern Europe, and with its major key melody, one would have thought the source was a German one. This ballad, in the common international version, tells of two sisters, one dark, one fair, and because of envy, one drowns the other. The body is pulled to shore, usually by the miller, and from the bones of the drowned sister he makes a fiddle, or a harp, which then sings the revelation that her sister killed her. Let's hear a typical Yiddish version sung by Lifshe Schechter-Widmann.
The andere is een meterlijke zessen, ene op zijn mazzel vastgehad. The andere is een meterlijke zessen, sugar my shame, schwöger mein Feind. Wo sich werde ihr suchen, ihr vor dich lieb, schein a lange Zeit. Kann du's mir nicht vertun. Ihr vor dich lieb, schein a lange Zeit. Kann du's mir nicht vertun. Schweigen, mein Scheine, schweigen, mein Kleine, wo sich werde ihr suchen. Kann mit dir kein Liebe nicht spielen, wo's wird ein Schwester suchen. Ich kann mit dir kein Liebe nicht spielen, wo's wird ein Schwester suchen. Sugar in my shade, sugar in my fire, wo sich werde ihr suchen. Meine Schwester meint, die Upsäten scheuen, ist aus mit mir Hausgeruhen. Meine Schwester scheint, mit Gärten ist gescheit, und mit mir soll sich Hausgeruhen.
The Yiddish versions introduce the possibility of violence, but basically end with just an argument between the brother-in-law and the sister-in-law. Lifsh's version sounds as if it is shortened, but the other two extant recordings we have of this ballad also end this way. The folklorist Noich Perlutsky collected 4 versions from Poland and printed them in 1912. These are longer, and in the dialogue between Schwägerin, sister-in-law, and Schwöger, brother-in-law, she suggests that they bring the sister to the woods and kill her. But the man argues, quote, "But more beautiful children than what your sister had, more beautiful I will not get. Azel geschene Kinder wie dein Schwester hat, kin schenere will ich schon nicht haben." In one variant, she replies to that, "If you plant a new tree in the garden, more beautiful fruit will grow. As me tut verpflanzen an neuen Bäum im Garten, schenere Pedes tut doch wachsen." In only one version is the murder committed. In the others, either the husband tells the sister-in-law to get lost, or he tells his wife that her sister wishes for her death. And that's the end of it. No drowning, no singing bones, no revenge. The Jewish version concludes with a happy marriage plus children. Does this indicate that the East European Jewish audience would not accept a murder in the song? That violence is somehow un-Jewish? I think there is something to that, but of course, that all changes in the modern era. And in the late 19th and 20th century, there are Yiddish murder ballads between lovers and bloody workers' strike songs and violent Jewish underworld ballads. On the blog Yiddish Song of the Week, we posted a 15-verse Yiddish ballad of Bensia de Gestochene, Bensia the Stabbed One, who was a pimp in Zhytomyr, Ukraine, and was killed by his fellow pimps out of envy. The song graphically describes the murder, and it is just one example of urban life and its dangers that is not found in small-town, older song repertory. How else does Jewish folklore differ? In the next 3 lectures, we'll look at folk song, folk literature, and belief and custom to elaborate on that question.